Hey everyone, welcome back to the devlogs series. In the last video, we talked about scene management and how I handled transitions between levels. Like when the game moves from night to day or shifts after you complete certain tasks. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it below. But today, we're going behind the curtain a bit more, into how I design the levels themselves, and more importantly, how triggers drive the entire gameplay experience behind the scenes. Let's start with the basics. The levels in my game aren't massive open worlds. They're tight, confined spaces, designed to control pacing, tension, and atmosphere. Every hallway, every blocked-off area is intentional. I wanted players to feel like they were always being watched, but never really safe. So instead of relying on random jump scares, I use space and layout to build unease. Each level is split into zones with a very specific purpose. The key was always asking myself, what does the player feel right now? And tweaking the layout accordingly. Now let's talk triggers, the invisible logic that quietly controls how the game reacts to you. These are placed throughout the levels to handle a ton of interactions. For example, crossing a certain point might update the player's goal text or unlock a new behavior in the AI. The goal was to make the environment feel alive, like it's responding to you, even if you're not aware it's happening. Most of these are modular, meaning I can reuse the same base trigger script in different ways depending on what I attach to it. That saved me a lot of time, and it keeps the project cleaner overall. If you've been following the series, you know I like tying progression to environmental interaction. So naturally, in some parts of the game, you can't advance until the right triggers have fired, like certain objects being used or a combination of elements being active, only then allowing you to continue. That chain of logic is powered entirely through trigger conditions. You could say the whole game runs on invisible cause and effect logic baked into the environment. Designing levels with these kinds of constraints taught me a lot, especially how much work goes into what the player doesn't see. It's not just the layout that matters, it's the scripting beneath it. I'll have the full script linked below on GitHub, as always. And in the next devlog, we're gonna wrap things up with something a little more reflective. All the lessons I've learned from making my first horror game. What went wrong? What went right, and what I do differently next time. Stay tuned.